Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake, here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
And we're here today to talk some Premier League Match Week 2. We got some Champion League draw. What else we got on here, Ferris?
A little bit of
MLS
table and where we're sitting.
Boom. And of course, we got to talk a little bit of beer. We apologize for putting this one out a little late because we're all finally in the same country and same place.
Yeah.
It's rare these days.
Same coast for the first time in a while.
Same time zone. We can even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not jet lagged. So
Attaboy.
that's good. That's also a rarity in the past 2 months.
It's true.
Yes.
He definitely did a pile of this a while back where I had to look to my right to make sure you were awake from time to time. It was sad.
Jet lag.
But since Ron's been flying all over the world, he's the man with the beer pick. Not really, actually just was his turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was thinking about trying to smuggle back some Chinese beer for you, but there just sadly is not many good actual Chinese beers.
But the imported German beer is popular over there,
Oh,
right?
ridiculously popular. Polliner has like 4 gigantic like beer gardens, and Koenig is out there now, and
Koenig.
Oh, it's phenomenal. All the beers that like we don't get here, all these different styles of Polliner and Koenig that we don't get here are in China. But the actual Chinese beer is not that good.
It's the reason the other stuff is so popular.
Yeah. So I went back to I picked beers in patterns, if you haven't been able to tell. So the last pattern I was on was Norway beers, and then after Norway beers, it was
The stuff you bought in North Carolina, right?
North Carolina beers, and now I'm kind of going back to the old rare beers that are hard to find in the U.S.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord. You had to drive for this one.
I had a friend over the other day because we had like 1 or 2 left over from Ron's exploring. And do you remember that 14% malt liquor German beer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, we got to split this. You got to try this. You're going to melt your mind. There's legit German malt liquor. So I'm excited to know what you got.
All right, so it is a repeat brewery,
Dun, dun, dun.
but not a repeat beer. Any guesses real quick?
Back to a brewery, back to rare. Bell's?
Nope. It's not from this country.
Oh, okay. Polliner.
Ferris?
No clue.
Okay. No, it's not Polliner.
Is it German?
No.
Oh, that narrowed it down. Not from this country. Well, back to Norway.
Is it Belgium?
No.
We're running out of countries. Iceland?
Nope.
Oh.
England?
Nope. Well,
I legit don't know how many more countries we've got to get. Scotland?
Scotland.
There we go.
dun dun dun. From Harviestoun Brewery.
If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
Old engine oil. Remember that one? We had that.
Yeah, that was kind of early.
Yeah,
right?
forever ago. Well, this is another rare style of beer. Harviestoun is that. Remember this guy Ken in 1983 was brewing his own beer, and he let all his friends drink it for free, but they had to fill out comment cards.
Oh yeah,
remember that guy?
And that's how he built.
And that's how he built up his brewery. He had an old mash tun, and his old mash tun was a a vat for dyeing sheep wool.
So Scottish
Yeah.
all the way around. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's that brewery, harviestounbrewery.com. But they took a version of their old engine oil and they aged it in oak casks for 12, 16, and 18 year.
Whoa.
a
Wait.
long time.
Yeah.
So they aged it in.
So they
In casks and then sat for 12,
some sat for
16,
12,
18
okay.
year.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's why they're really rare, because he hasn't been around that long.
That's amazing.
So we have the only ones I could get my hands on were the 16 year. So we have the 16 year. And it's a cooperation between Highland Park Distillery and Harviestoun. So Highland Park 16-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey in Oban.
So is this aged in oak Scotch barrels?
Yes.
Oh,
And what do you have in your hand there that you are reciting from?
This that I'm reading off of is the little. They put like a little tag and they put it around the beer bottle neck with that string right there.
that's how
yeah,
you know
yeah,
it's
okay.
fancy.
Yeah,
I was like, what are you?
it's pinky up drinking.
Yeah, it is. Swanky.
But essentially, it's so like I said, it's a collaboration between the distillery and Harviestoun, and where Highland Park is failing me. I want to say Killarney, but that's not Killarney, or that's Ireland, not.
Yeah.
But as soon as I hear where it is, I'm gonna be like, damn it! Oh, there we go. So this beer has been reviewed internationally by tons of people, and it's won tons of awards. The little caption on the inside says "Old Ola Dub." That's
Kirkwall.
I didn't think that was it. But okay.
Kirkwall in the UK.
Um,
Highland Park.
all right.
Boom.
Is so named because it's gloppy and viscous.
Loppy?
I remember the description for the engine oil was the viscous.
Right,
like,
yeah.
This limited release has been matured in cask. Oh, this is Orkney. So Orkney Island. It must be
Gotcha.
Kirkwall on Orkney. That's where it is. Award-winning Highland Park Distillery to add complementary whiskey notes to what is already an amazing beer. It is chocolatey with a roasty, bittersweet aftertaste, and you can go to their website for all kinds of more information. It's an 8% beer, and it pours jet black with a small mocha-colored head. It's a blend of whiskey and roasted malts, earthy, woodland, vanilla kind of flavors, and it's got hints of smoky peat.
Smoky Pete.
Everything about this sounds awesome.
So
Sounds complicated.
Because this is one of my favorite stouts.
Oh, we each get a little tab here?
So
Part
so
of
it's
the-
either with the
oh.
16 the barrels are from the 16-year-old Highland 12 or the 18 like you said.
Special 16
That's so cool.
reserve.
this
I love
one's
the
for
name
you.
because it's gloopy and viscous.
Loopy.
Oh
That's
man.
a fun word.
So Ola Dub. Is that
Yeah.
how it's pronounced?
Correct.
Even the bottle's awesome. It's got like the black foil around the top.
The other thing you'll notice is
Have
that
us
every
drinking here.
bottle is numbered, so you know how many
Gracias.
came out and which one you have.
Where did you snag this at?
It's signed by the head brewer and the master of wood.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I love that.
Bottled
Out of the stone.
the bottle number and date May 2014.
Yeah, so we're all drinking from the same.
Sweet. This is a good one that I'm gonna have a little bit and then let this thing.
Yeah, it's
Open
going to
up a
open up
bit,
huge
yeah.
between as the episode goes on.
Oh, dude, I am so excited for this. It looks like the way the label's been done. It looks like a little mini Scotch bottle.
Yeah, it totally does. Matured in whiskey casks from Highland Park, aged in selected oak casks formerly used to mature Highland Park's gloriously rich and smoky 16-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. This is gonna be badass. All right.
Yeah, all
Sorry,
right. What the hell happened?
I dropped my bottle opener.
What bottle number did you get, Blake?
I am 05768.
What about you?
05782.
I think Blake has the earlier bottle. Mine is 05811. Nice.
All right,
Interesting.
gents.
All right. I'm going to figure out how the hell to open this up. Here.
I think you probably
It
can
just-
pop right through the foil.
Yeah,
Oh, so you don't take off the foil?
I think
Nope.
you could pop right through it.
Okay.
I just did.
And yep, yeah. Just pop the bottle top and the foil kind of comes right
Oh,
off.
yeah. It kind of just, everything comes straight off of it. Yeah.
'Cause the foil has like a little bit of glue on it.
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to pull too tight.
I can't wait to see what gloopy and viscous looks like.
They sound like cartoon characters.
Here it goes.
I'm gloopy. This is viscous.
Hello, Gloopy.
It is not very carbonated, and I would say it's gloopy and viscous.
Boy, it is dark.
It is the color of a black hole.
Smells like gloopy.
Man, I can smell that. You know how Scotch has that sweet little vanilla hint on it?
Yeah, I
a lot of Scotch do. I can smell that.
I like Scotch.
Ooh, that one's a rich one.
Ooh, the smell of this, the aroma is fantastic.
Oh man, I just
this one.
as you smell it more, you start smelling the peat and the burnt wood.
I could get this is truly like at
the
home
most-
alone, pour like a snifter and just sit there and embrace this thing.
It's one of the most interesting smelling beers we've ever had by far.
It's
Not too sweet.
No, it just has a lot of
and every time you smell it, you smell something different.
yeah.
Well, the cask with the wood should, in theory, kind of smooth it out a little bit.
Right.
I've had bourbon. I haven't had a lot of beers aged in Scotch casks, though. I've had a lot in the bourbon casks, or just straight up oak.
I've had
casks.
cigars that are not but they're
Man.
All right, gents,
I
shall we
could
give
just
this a
keep
try?
smelling this all day. Cheers.
Cheers. Wow. That is so smooth.
It's way more smooth than you expect.
doesn't taste like a beer. Like it does, but
Yeah. This one shut us up. I love it.
I think the lack of carbonation really helps to take out any bitterness
yeah.
and any like strong hit to your palate.
I mean, 'cause it's carbonated, just very light.
Yeah, the
8%, but it doesn't
I
taste
get
anywhere near
a
like
little bit of that sort of hoppy flavor on the very back of the tongue, but it's not a lot. This is smooth. This is a beer for contemplating.
This is a beer for laying down and avoiding.
I love that Monty Python reference, as obscure as it was.
It's perfect.
It's got a bouquet like an Aboriginal's armpit. Yeah.
It really opens up the sluices at both ends.
Go find, I don't know, whatever the wine sketch for Monty Python is, and that'll all make a lot of sense.
it smells different in the
I can't stop
glass.
It's got a 99 rating on Rate Beer and 100 on I just lost
Beer
it.
Advocate.
Beer Advocate, thank you.
So what's weird is now I feel like this podcast has just changed and some smooth jazz should be playing. We're like, and here we are tonight. Because like this is like not party beer. It's the complete reverse.
Think of Michael Bolton there.
Jesus,
Yeah, I just threw a little Michael Bolton out.
This is so smooth and like I feel smarter drinking it. You know what I mean?
This is definitely pinky out drinking.
This is we're sitting by a large fire in leather chairs after we were just like on moving pieces around the map. Like, in an old war movie.
For us, it's the game of Risk we've been playing since 1992.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, that's awesome.
I can't wait for this to warm up some.
Ooh, well done. Ooh. Well done. Shall we on to the soccer?
Oh, is that what we're here for?
All right. So, Premier League Matchweek 2. We'll talk about a couple of the larger games that went on.
Chelsea won.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
First up, I think Swansea was on my list of teams to get relegated. It was definitely on
I
Ron's.
think you're right. Let me bring that up real quick.
I mean, here's the thing. Is Swansea that bad or is Man U that good? 4-0 over Swansea. Everybody on your team, the water boy scored.
The
Man U.
ball boy scored twice.
I don't even know what else to say. Swansea's terrible. Man U is not.
No,
That was a bulldozer.
Okay. Before we get too far, we're only 2 games in. Yes, we have a goal difference of +8.
If you had
because we
any-
scored 4 in back-to-back games, but it's been against West Ham.
Sure.
And it's been against Swansea. So, but with that being said,
Yeah, definitely not known for their defenses.
No, or finishing very high up the table.
Yeah, but last season, man, you wasn't known for scoring.
That's accurate.
Right. And although it's against these teams, we're not getting a 1-0 win. We're not getting a draw, which happened a lot last year. We're getting these big results. And we're getting in every game so far, or in the game so far, we've had multiple different goal scorers.
Sure.
Which is huge. That wasn't necessarily the case last year. It was just Zlatan's, that's all it was last year. We're getting Lukaku, Pogba, Martial, great assist by Mkhitaryan. He already has 4 assists on the year. They're playing very, very well.
And you have a new addition to the team.
Not a new addition.
Well, a new to this season.
Nemanja Matic?
No.
I just want to throw it at you because you're a Chelsea fan. I think he's a signing. No, I think what you're referring to is yesterday it was announced that Zlatan Ibrahimovic signed a 1-year contract with Manchester United to return.
We should have done this pod 2 days ago before
Which
that.
is why I have a picture sitting and facing you guys so that you can see his beautiful
I can't see him,
form.
actually.
Yeah.
So that you can
There
know.
is a
I'll hold
frame
it up there for you.
picture of Zlatan doing his ninja kick up in the air.
Which he did, and it was recorded by the club, and he posted of him roundhousing a bag over and over again. Speaking of which, did you guys see the thing that was posted by, I believe, Eric Bailly, who scored the first goal in this game? But there was they were in a locker room, and Bailly kind of went up behind him and kicked him as a joke. And Zlatan turned around, and Bailly just ran off as Zlatan went to walk around him a little bit. It was posted a couple days before it was announced that Zlatan would be coming back, which kind of led to, is he going to re-sign with Manchester United? Yes, he is. Good signing, though. And, he never really left. Yes, we cut him in the offseason, but I think, and if you listen to my thoughts on it when that occurred, I kind of thought he would be re-signing. There was a lot of talk that he'd come over here to the MLS, that he would go elsewhere for big cash. I think he wants to win, and he knows what Jose's doing at the club. He knows what kind of team
He knows it's Jose's second year,
building.
man.
Exactly. And he even said the best player to come in this year so far has been Matic. I think he's a big key that was missed all of last year. And I think Zlatan will also be okay with, and there's been a lot of talk that he may not be, and the team's playing so well without him, and how are you going to get him in the game?
Is this your off the bench for Lukaku?
This could be off the bench. This could be Champions League. This could be cup games. There's now depth. And I think at 30, what is he, 35, 34, somewhere in that range, I think he's going to be okay playing a subs role. Not for every game, but I think he will be okay with it as long as they are winning. And if they're going far in the Champions League, because right now he's slated to come back sometime in December, January, which will be after the group stages of Champions League. So they'll know who they're going to play in the knockout round if we get out of that, of course. And he'll know where the club kind of stands. He also has seen a good start to the league. He's seen us high flying. The team has been playing very, very well. Jose has started the same lineup 2 games in a row, and a lot of these goals have come real quick. Swansea played very well in this game, actually. Going back to the game at hand here.
Their midfield played well. Their back four didn't play very well at all.
Well, they don't know. But, I mean, when you have Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Mata coming at you, it's going to... You need a very strong back four for that. But they played well. They looked good in the first half. Man, you always look to press, but Swansea hit the crossbar early. They had some chances. We got to go right before half, which kind of sunk the air out of the tire there. But it wasn't until the 80th when Romelu Lukaku got onto the ball, slotted one home, and then it was just boom, boom, boom. It was 82nd, 84th. Yes, that's the picture. Yeah,
I know. Stop. Leave it.
Okay.
Harris is like, don't touch my
Picture,
Zlatan picture.
No.
I'm trying to make sure the
don't do that.
glare gets off of it. So
Thank
when
you.
I take this picture, it's in there.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Jeez.
But no, the team looked well. They look very dangerous on the counter, and that's what tore apart. We just broke down Swansea, and they tore Swansea apart in the last 10 minutes, and that's why you see a big score line of 4-0. This isn't going to be every game, but it's off to a good start. 2 games in a row, 4-0, 4-0. Who knows if that will continue in the next game, but they're looking very strong
like
this
your
year.
question for the game. United score 4, or the headline is as they break down a. Let me see if I can say this correctly. Sigurdssonless, which is the weirdest thing I've seen written out. Sigurdssonless, Swansea. Well, yeah, you know what? I mean, I know we're gonna talk about Everton later, but Sigurdsson didn't really factor into that game very much. But the goal that Sigurdsson just scored in the Europa
was awesome.
Yeah, that was
he
pretty amazing.
stole the ball,
Awesome.
had like 2 touches just past midfield. If even, I wasn't much.
They've only been a touch.
And he just saw that the goalkeeper was just off the line enough to go for it. And it was
And he killed
beautiful.
it. Yeah, it was awesome.
It's not like he looked like it's not like he had time to contemplate what was
No.
going on. He did it so effortlessly
Dude,
and so just
He was
boom.
one with the force on that one. Because that was
almighty.
all instinct. Like just bam.
45-yard just chip. That thing is insane.
It was very Carly Lloyd reminiscent.
And by the way, as the beer warms up and you sip, you will taste more of the scotch. That was very good. Scotch. Just in case you were wondering. Yeah, Manu looks great. Swansea looks like crap. I guess that's the end of the
Swan. I think before the window closes on Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week, they need to sign some people. I mean, they now have a lot of funds. I think it was 50-some million pounds he was signed for. So they have some funds. They need to go out and get some more talent. Somebody in the back line and somebody also to help with the attack, I think, would do Swansea very well. And hopefully they can stay up. But
It's going to be a struggle.
He's gone.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a struggle. Which brings us to the glorious next game of been there, done that. And that is Stoke City 1 over Arsenal 0. Arsenal loses at Stoke. That's what happens.
That's the
But but that happens so frequently. Their record at Stoke is terrible.
Yeah.
Last year they won, I think, one game at Stoke that was like 3-1 or something. It was towards the end of the year. Kind of an anomaly.
I thought they
for
were winless
Arsenal.
or drawing in the last 5.
No, they.
You sure that wasn't a home game for Arsenal against Stoke?
It may have been.
I think it was. At Stoke, Arsenal. It's like a bugaboo for them. Stoke just has has their number at Stoke.
It was Kloppy. Or no, what was the word for the beer?
Gloppy.
Gloppy.
Kloppy. No, Kloppy.
Kloppy,
That's how Liverpool plays.
Exactly.
That's a different situation. Yeah. A Kloppy beer is one that knocks your glasses off when you have a sip. That's what that
And it makes you smile a lot.
makes you yeah. In interviews.
That wasn't scary at all.
I don't really know what else to say about this Arsenal game. I mean, Arsenal had a ton of chances. I mean,
Yes.
they had the foot on the gas. Was it one of those games where they had like 70% possession and lost? I mean,
They had
yeah.
plenty of chances. A couple of non-calls in this game as well that were some talking points.
A goal called back that should have not been offsides.
Which one are you talking about?
The one that Lacazette had in.
The Lacazette, I mean, okay, here's the thing. Technically, he was offsides by a toe.
Yeah,
Any
by
part of the...
by that foot.
Right. Any part of the... sorry, looking at the...
Any part of the player. Hand, a nose, a foot. But they normally don't call it that close. And normally
It's almost like the tie goes to the
correct. The tie goes to the offense. Usually.
Right. Now, I don't think the linesman actually saw that. I think it was a bad call. Now, I think if it was VAR, I think the call would have remained the same because of the toe, because technically, but that's where, like Ron, you were saying, the advantage in that it's that tight, the advantage should go to the attacker.
Right.
It was 4-1 at Stoke last year on May 13th. They did win at Stoke 4-1. Giroud had 2 goals, Ozil and Sanchez.
So last year at Stoke they won.
Yeah. Yep.
They've always traditionally had a hard time at Stoke.
Oh yeah, always. And what's the phrase? The rainy, windy night in Stoke.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, Leo Messi, he can't play anywhere. He'll see him play on a Tuesday night in Stoke when it's rainy and cold. Messi would do just fine. And so did Jesse. Well, he's the one that got the goal in this game. His debut goal. He's on loan from PSG, and before that, he was a Real Madrid product. And great, just ball was played in perfectly, and he put it in the perfect spot, just in between the goalie and the defender, and right in the corner. Lovely goal by him on his debut.
Yep. I thought when the meaty French forehead came in, we were going to do good, but there were some odd substitutions.
There was. I noticed that it was Giroud that came on,
but they pulled out the defense. They pulled the Ox out. Oh yes, they pulled Oxlade-Chamberlain out. I can't remember if that's who was a switch, but Oxlade-Chamberlain came out at a point that was bizarre because he was actually one of the better players.
Yeah, he was
in the game, keeping them alive. So it was like, unless there's some sort of like strain or hurt that we don't. I didn't understand that.
He was free up and down that left side of the field the entire time.
And then the next sub, they took out Lacazette shortly after he just scored that goal that was called offsides.
Was that the Theo Walcott?
That may have been a Theo Walcott substitution. Well, why would you? I mean, it seemed like him and Giroud were connecting well. He had a chance that it was called offside. So why would you take him?
They play together already in France. Just let them. Yeah, I wasn't sure what that was about.
Right.
And of course, there's another game that Alexis Sanchez was still out. However, was reported today that Sanchez should be returning to the pitch this Sunday against Liverpool.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
He probably won't start, but you may see him come on.
Yeah, they had Iwobi replaced Xhaka.
Which that one was weird too, because I thought Xhaka was having a good game.
That was the first one. Yes, Xhaka was having another good game as well. That didn't really make a lot of sense because that's. Yeah,
and then Walcott shortly thereafter replaced Lacazette.
Yeah, just interesting.
Especially when you need to score.
Right.
It was just not. It was not.
Lacazette looks to have a little bit of form going. I mean, I know we're only 2 games in, but he scores one. I think he had some good chances in this game as well, and then had the offsides one that we were talking about. Keep him in and let him just see out the game. You know, he can go the full time because he went the full time in the very first game. So,
and these are the games that cost
odd
you
substitutions,
the league or those Champions League spots. When you look back and you've dropped the 3 to a team like Stoke.
It's early. It's very, very early, but still, it's one that you
Arsenal traditionally though is at the end of the year, one more game won, and it's Champions League do you know what I mean? Or a second or third place like that. That's the difference. So Arsenal is a team that can't afford to give up points because it's always barely by the points that they just do keep,
and almost always give it up to Stoke.
So, and on that note, moving on to Spurs versus the Chelsea's.
That was a crazy match.
It was a good match.
And the story of the day at a 2-1 win for Chelsea over Tottenham is Tottenham going to struggle at their new stadium? That's going to be the story that walks away from it.
The curse. That's seeming that they've all talked about. It's not an issue. It's not going to be an issue. We're going to make this our home, which, in fairness, if you watch the game, it wasn't like White Hart Lane because you're not. I mean, at their old stadium, the crowd was on the pitch essentially, like they were right there. This is a little bit more open, but it was loud. I mean, even just coming through the TV, the place was packed, and it was loud. But you're not getting off to a good start of saying this doesn't concern you. I mean,
especially when you said the only goal you score was an own goal. So which
was actually not scored by Gary Cahill.
Nope, because he
was suspended and an own goal still happened. It was crazy.
Yeah, Mitzi Batshuayi.
Yeah, the ghost of Cahill.
But I don't know if you can actually look at it as the curse because Tottenham had more possession. They had a lot of chances. Kane hit the post.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot there. Maybe it is a curse because the ball hit the post. It's not going in. I know it was the second half. Eriksson, I think, off of a free kick, whipped the ball in, and it went through everybody and skimmed past the post. Anybody gets a foot, head, toe,
it's in.
Anything on that, and that ball's going in the back of the net the way he put it in. I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say.
I certainly expected a loss in this and was hoping for a draw because we have.
I agree with that. I think that was what the hope would have been. Would have been a draw. At,
2 players suspended.
Say at Whitehall, but that's not where they're at.
Right.
But at home for Spurs, yeah.
2 players out on suspension, 3 injured, and kind of a mishmash of starting. And it comes down to the perfect. You cannot animate or make this happen any better than Alonso's free kick in the 24th minute.
What a beautiful strike.
Jeez.
Was inches off of Eriksson's outstretched head in the wall with a beautiful curve. The keeper doesn't see it in time, and it goes right into the top corner, just under the bar. Just perfect. It was an incredible, incredible goal.
Just like his hair.
Well,
and he has a lovely set of
locks
of golden brown locks. That good set of hair on that guy.
And here's the thing: like we wanted to, we hated Ron wasn't here, so we could pick on him for them losing their opening game to Burnley,
which is exactly why I thought we were going to lose this one. Because in that game we had 2 people essentially sent off in that first one, which was just mind-boggling. And we have all those injuries. So
yeah, but your lineup wasn't terrible. Your lineup was actually pretty strong and stronger than I thought.
It was, but against a team like the Spurs, it was not one that had a deep bench.
It's also not.
You
had
nobody coming off the bench.
It's not a very experienced bench. So you don't have Hazard. Pedro played just a little bit,
and he's the only. Yeah, right.
So you don't have Costa. You don't have the attacking experience that we normally have. So without Fabregas in the midfield, I thought we were just going to get run all over.
Bakayoko played a great game, though, on his debut.
And so did David Luiz out of position.
Yeah, he was played in like a central defensive Matic type role almost.
And he was awesome.
I also would say, to me, this is Chelsea of last year in that here's Chelsea. They're a bit off for the day. The better stats belong to Spurs. Doesn't matter. They still find a way to win. And that was Chelsea last year. Even when they had the off games, they still won. They had those last-minute winners that you thought, well, this will go down to a draw at least, whatever. So to me, this was Chelsea of last year. We got an off game. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but last year they didn't only have 32% possession and 9 shots opposed to 18 from the other team. Like they're only 2 shots on goal.
But I think that goes to show you how much you miss Fabregas controlling that midfield with the Conte pairing. We didn't have Eden Hazard, and we only had Pedro for a little bit. And those guys are really good at A, the possession, but B, also kind of elevating the rest of the team. So I really didn't.
They create opportunities as well.
Right. They're very, very creative players. So I really did not expect the win. I was streaming it on my phone in between. I was at the airport. So I had to go into security and then come out of security and go over, get on the plane. And so there was a ton of time where I couldn't watch it. And I was following our Twitter feeds to see what was going on. And I saw that it was 1-1. I saw that Tottenham had tied it up, and then I had to get on the plane, so I didn't know who had won until I got to Salt Lake City. So that was pretty nerve-wracking.
Well, and Marcus Alonso scored again.
Yeah.
It was kind of a mistake by Lloris, who's
Marcus Alonso looked great.
Awesome goalkeeper. Yeah, and he looked great coming off. But you have a wingback scoring both your goals. That has to be a little bit concerning there. But no, he did. He had like the game of his life in this game.
He was on fire. I mean,
first of all, hold on a second. Marcus Alonso scores a bunch for us. And I don't think it's concerning when you have Fabregas, when you have Pedro, when you have Batsui. In this lineup, I was okay that he was he had scored so well.
Yeah, but you still had quality players on the pitch to put the ball in the back of the net. Morata.
Yeah, but not in. Well, Morata's still figuring out the system.
Willian
is. But see, the point is, take half of the people who scored for you. Take Lukaku out, Pogba, Martial. Take those guys out. Put in their backups.
Martial came in as a backup and he scored.
But what about the rest of them?
On.
The point is, we're not playing with all of our full people. So to say that one person scored all of your goals is concerning because the rest of your team is your bench.
I'm not saying one person. I'm saying a defensive player scored both of your goals.
Yeah, but he's not only a defensive player. Look at his stats from last year.
Yeah, because I'll say that's going to happen at Arsenal this year too because of Kolasinac.
Yeah, he's a scoring defense, but
they're constantly playing him as a wing to run up, just like almost tons of other teams do, and go up there to help put balls in the box.
Well, that's the whole back three that he plays with the
right. One of them was a free kick, so that one doesn't really count.
Morata missed a header in this game that was he couldn't have had one easier for him. So I think it's concerning that you guys don't have the depth that you've had.
That's accurate.
And yes, he's a very scoring wing back. And you guys got out of it with 32% possession and only 2 shots on goal, which is great.
Hey, Leicester won a Premier League title with those stats.
Right. But it goes into you have double the games this year. Not double the games, but that's an exaggeration. But you guys are in the Champions League this year.
Yeah,
so that depth is
certainly concerning.
Where a United and even Arsenal to some extent have a little bit deeper bench there.
Yeah, I agree. That was I think in the Premier League preview, I think I said that I was concerned about how much what little depth we had considering we're in Champions League now.
Who does Tottenham play? Well, they're away next week, right? They're not. It's not at Wembley.
We'll get to it.
Just curious to know. If they turn and have a huge game winning outside of Wembley,
they're actually home this week. But
are they home this week?
That's the last game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Burnley.
Yeah. Well, hey, Burnley already beat Chelsea, so
I also wonder I think Tottenham doesn't have.
They got a bench problem too right now, a bad one.
What?
Tottenham does?
They're a little thin.
I'd have to look at their lineup. I don't feel like they're because they didn't make that many changes.
No, but they lost some people.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, Musa Sissoko, Vincent Janssen, Son, Winks, Kyle Walker-Peters, who started the first game for them. Yeah, and they just signed Sanchez, a center back from PSV, or no, who did Manu play in the Europa League last year in the final? Ajax, I think.
Ajax. Yeah.
So yeah, their bench didn't look as bad as Chelsea's. The ones that didn't come on for Chelsea: Kyle Scott, Kennedy, Charlie Musonda, and I'll butcher the hell out of this name, Fikayo Tomorrow. No clue who that. Do you know who that is, Ron?
I do not.
Okay, exactly.
I just mean going forward, not in comparison to Chelsea for this match, because Chelsea had a lot of suspended players and everything else. But
right,
going forward, I think Tottenham has a tough run with the Champions League as well this year.
I also think Tottenham is not going to ever have home field advantage. So many teams play at Wembley that it's kind of neutral ground.
Well, it's not that so many teams play there. It's that so many teams look forward to going there, because this has primarily been cup finals.
It's exciting
championship
to go.
Playoff finals.
Sure, but sorry, let me clarify. The games last year that Tottenham won against the top 6 because they were fast and just were amazing. Those teams have all played at Wembley repeated times. So I don't think the home field factor helps Tottenham because they're at Wembley in the big games.
Yeah, right.
And that's the talking point. Until they start to win a good stretch of games, that's going to be the talking point. Is they have a great team, a team that finished second 2 years in a row, or they finished third and then it says second, that are supposed to do great things. Will this stadium thing could it be their downfall this year? Who knows?
Especially with us, if they try to, or if they last long in the Champions League. This brings us up to our final big game to talk about. Man City versus Everton. Little red card action. Little 10 on 10.
Both of which weren't red cards.
No, I don't think so either. But a goal apiece. 1-1. Wayne Rooney, the hero of Everton right now.
Yep. And a little Raheem Sterling action.
Yep. It is sad that you're like, oh yeah, whatever. He scored too.
It's kind of like the old England, New England type thing.
And of course, I mean, it should be noted that Rooney, that's his 200th EPL goal.
The only person above him is who?
Boop, boop, boop.
You mentioned him in the preview pod.
I do not remember.
He's in a very unique club. Alan Shearer.
Oh,
Alan Shearer.
I think he has like 260 or something. So Rooney has a way to go.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll catch up.
He may not, but he just announced this week. And
what is my dog barking at?
He didn't bark the entire time we were in here before the pod until we got onto the pod.
Yeah.
He's mad at something.
He wants to be on the show.
Or I mean,
you know why? Do you know why he's mad? Because in your list of top 4 teams to talk about, you didn't include the Terriers. Because Tucker is a Jack Russell Terrier, and you did not include Huddersfield.
I didn't, but we had to keep it short because we're doing the pods so late in the week.
But he is very upset that you did not cover the Terriers, and is a little mad.
Well, there's no broken glass out there. That's a good thing.
I feel like I gotta see if they make a Terriers kit that will fit a dog, and that's what I want my dog to be for Halloween.
The power of computers can tell us in just a few minutes. I don't remember the point. Wayne Rooney announced this week, yesterday, that he will no longer, he's retired from international football. Which is kind of odd because usually players do it a little bit later in their career, but if they do it, they don't usually do it in a World Cup year. We're in a World Cup year.
Hold on. Maybe it's his way of not worrying about getting cut.
No. Because he was actually called up to this latest round of qualifyings that happened next week. He would have played some part. He would have been on the team regardless, especially in the form that he's currently in, 2 goals in 2 games. He would have played some part. I think he wants to focus on his club career. I think he wants to beat Alan Shearer's Premier League goal scoring.
Could you imagine if Wayne Rooney
record
steps away from international play, but Everton squeaks into like a 4th spot this year?
That'd be huge. That'd be huge.
Like he's already going to be a legend there in general, but like,
and I think that's what he wants to do, which is why he said, I don't want to be playing 12 months out of the year, which is going to happen this year. And then in 2 more years when they go into the Euros, I think he wants to focus on his club career, stay fit. He looks good. He looks bright. He looks vibrant. If he's only playing 1 game a week, 2 games a week, and then still has 3 months off, and he's not playing during the international breaks, who knows? With all the signings that they have, Everton could make a push this year.
Or he retires at the end of this year.
No, I think he signed I think 2 or 3 year deal.
I want to say 2.
Just because you sign it doesn't mean you're
true. But the way he's playing right now,
look at Neymar. I signed a 5-year deal and I'm out. Now I'm getting sued by Barca.
And then he's going to sue them back. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's like a
what a
sue
mess.
fest at this point. But no, I the way he's started off, I think it was a smart choice.
My favorite thing was when he scored the goal, somebody tweeted Lukaku.
No, actually, did you see the tweet?
Because you know what? In this match, Lukaku wouldn't have scored because he never scored against top teams.
Did you actually see the tweet though? It was, and Caitlin actually sent it to me. It was 4 years apart. Wayne Rooney scored.
The same three guys flipping him off.
The same three guys. It was an away goal for Man United in a derby game in the supporter end of City's ground.
It's a dad and a son.
The exact same picture. He's doing like 15, the exact same. Yeah.
And then the next picture, he's like, 21. It's amazing.
It's crazy.
That's brilliant.
It's so good. Oh, man. I love that. So, you know what? One other thing. I mean, I know we're talking about Rooney of this, but what do we think about Manchester United at the gate 2 games in? Pep's make it or break it.
Man City, not United.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. I get those teams confused, right? It's easy to do.
No, not
that was just for you.
Okay, Tottenham.
That was just for you. See, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
Yeah. Both clubs have Manchester in the name, and I'm picking on you. No, but Manchester City, 2 games in, they make it or break it year for Pep, which I still think is crap that was the storyline. But 2 games in, what do you think?
They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. They got Kyle Walker was sent off really early in this game for a red card that shouldn't have happened. I see where the ref was looking at. If you watch it again, yes, Kyle Walker turns around, lines up the defender, and then the way they hit, the defender's head like shoots back, so it looks like he got a bow or something, was not the case at all. When you watch it, and we have the ability to see it over and over again in slow-mo and from 13 angles and yada, yada, yada. VAR is not there yet for the Premier Leagues, and when it's going that fast, it looks at first glance like he threw something. He did not. He just looked to see where he was at, kept his arms to his side, and went into a challenge. That's it. He should have never been sent. It was a second yellow, though, so it can't be appealed.
Right.
Same with Schneiderlin's sending off as well, but they played with the man down for a majority of this game, and they still looked dominant.
Yes.
They still had Silva and Jesus and Aguero. They still had all this attacking talent. They're going to be fine, and they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've said this for the past couple of years that they have such attacking talent. And yes, they are finishing in the top 4, so that they're certainly going to be fine. But man, you really wish they would. I mean, as a fan of the sport, I really wish they would click because the amount of talent on that team is just ridiculous. And they should just be pinging balls in the back of the net like 4 or 5 times a match, every match. If you look at the attacking strength, and for some reason, they just don't click. There's so many times in this match where somebody should be making a smart diagonal run and they hold up and they wait and they wait and then they hold their run just a little long and it gets cut out. So I think they really need to take a teaspoon of creativity and get on it.
Mary Poppins' coaching style.
Yeah.
Just a teaspoon of creativity makes the world go.
How did you just break up the word creativity? Creativity? What?
But they really do. They need to get their creativity back. Yeah. They need to get that creativity back, and they really need to start playing a little more heads up football because they're going to finish 4th or 5th again if they don't really start stepping up. And it's a long season, so they are. Ferris is right. It's not like they're going to be in a mid-table battle.
No,
they're definitely going to be in the top 6 without question. But they could be fighting 1 and 2 the entire season if they would pick their heads up. So many of them watch the other guy with the ball and make the run too late, or when they have the ball, they're too busy, getting 2-on-1 into the touchline instead of looking up to make that cross a little early.
The oft-said description by so many different pundits has always been Man City looks like an all-star team. Everyone's great, but they don't play together a lot. So, But yet they do. This is a club. It should be. But it's like an all-star team.
It's also. It's weird, and I don't know what it is with the back 3 fad that's happening right now.
You're welcome.
Right. It's Chelsea and the success that they've done, but both teams in this played a back 3. You had Leroy Sané, who's a very attacking, forward-minded player, playing in wing-back position for Man City.
Yeah.
It doesn't... I haven't followed Pep's career fully, but I don't think he played a whole lot of back three at Barca. I could be wrong. I mean, and please, if I am, somebody say so. But both teams played back three. You're seeing this a lot with teams now. It's like teams and Pep are trying something different to see what. It's not like. I mean, yes, Pep didn't get there last year, but it was his first year in the league, first year trying to understand the league. You don't necessarily need to change what got you there. Changing formation because you have Otamendi, Kompany, and Stones, you don't need to try to get everybody. It seems like you're trying to get all of them onto the pitch. And you're trying to change so many things to be the team that, or the Pep's team that has won it in one. Keep doing what got you there. You brought in tons of talent. You spent tons of cash, so you have just as much talent as the Barca teams did. Kind of. Just do what got you there. Don't try to change to a back three and try to get these players on and play people out of position like Sane. Why?
I agree.
And looking ahead, I would say some games of note that we have going on are Huddersfield Town, because right now they're making the Leicester run. Against Southampton, it's coming up weekend. I love that you've got it 3 in a row for the Terriers and Professor X. That's what you've got in there. The Twitter feed for Patrick Stewart, again, follow it during these games. It's awesome.
I did find what I'm going to get you for.
Did you find a Huddersfield jersey for Tucker?
But I did find a very obnoxious Terry the Terrier hat with tassels that I'm going to get you.
Amazing.
I only want to mention the Huddersfield game because the goal scored in it was great. From
Mooney Moody.
Moori. Mooo.
It was phenomenal, though.
Lovely curler. Just coming in. I think he was their record signing this past offseason.
Yes, that was the
that
big
sound
signing
familiar?
for them.
Mooey. Mooy.
It's not. Is it said that way? I mean,
You
you're asking.
got me, man.
I don't know.
All I know is like that they were coming. My cherries this year. They're just a fun team to watch. Bournemouth has not scored a goal yet, and they are not a fun team to watch.
No. And can they score a goal this weekend? They're playing Man City like in 10 hours. Like I don't even know if they can score a goal.
I hope they do.
Haven't scored one yet.
Other big games will be Man U and Leicester City. This will be a big test because while Leicester hasn't been playing great, I'd say it's the best team you've been playing so far.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that looks like. Everton at Chelsea is going to be fun. That should be a fun match.
That should be a good one.
See it again. Test Everton because they've been looking good so far. See how they line up against Chelsea. And then Liverpool host Arsenal. It's either 4-3 to whichever team, or it is a dreadfully awful 0-0 where like it's just ridiculous. There's no control in the midfield. There's no like it's just back and forth. The ball getting stolen. People are bouncing off the woodwork. They went one way or the other. It's not going to be like a 1-0 game or a 2-1.
No, and that's why I put over under 7 goals in this game. Could it be reminiscent of their first game this year, 4-3 or something?
Hey, I'll say over. 4-4 draw.
Ugh.
No defense.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the odds. I'm gonna go under.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a accidental 1-0.
I'm telling you, like it's gonna be
a
ridiculous.
Own goal, and he doesn't even play for both teams. He just comes in because he's there in the stands and it bounces off his head.
I think it's gonna be like the Houston-FC Dallas match this week, and a header that bounces around the box.
Houston Dynamo.
Yeah.
You said Dash.
I'm sorry. The Dash is the women's team. The Houston Dynamo versus FC Dallas, where the cross comes in and the person who gets their head on the ball just puts it right back to the center of the box, trying to get their striker, but it misses their striker completely. Oh no, sorry, it was the Atlanta game. the FC Atlanta game. They lost
Yes, they
1-0 off of
loss for us.
a pinged around ball in the box that ends up being an own goal by accident, like they all are. But he puts a header right to the defender's chest, and the defender is turning toward goal when it happens and has no choice and puts it in the back of the net. I think that's going to be the story of Arsenal
And Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because the question is, who's going to be Liverpool this year? Arsenal or Liverpool?
This is a fight to be who's going to be Liverpool.
Right now, Arsenal is up on that game as far as being able to score more in the first two. We'll see.
Think they're both even on 4 goals a pop right now.
Are they both?
Liverpool scored 3 in their first, and then they won 1-0 this past week, and then Arsenal scored 4 the first week and 0 the second week.
Either way, it's gonna be some frustrated fans.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting game to say the least.
And then we should roll over to MLS. I guess we just.
Well, hang on. You got you've got a race for the bottom. Crystal Palace, Swansea City. That one's going to be a race for a bottom. But the other one that's going to be a ton of fun to watch: Huddersfield Town versus Southampton.
Yeah, I brought them up, man.
You brought them up.
Did I completely miss that?
Yeah,
you brought them up
because I was like our champion. You know that's this year's Leicester.
Wow.
I think Watford and
Huddersfield.
Brighton's going to be a fun match.
Watford's been doing well.
Right, and Brighton, they can attack and they have some.
That stadium's
players.
gorgeous,
right.
man.
Yeah. I think it could be an interesting game. And then the complete opposite of Liverpool Arsenal, Stoke City and West Brom. The over-under is at a goal. And I got the under on that one.
I'm going to go under.
Draw.
-1 to -1. Somehow they managed to go backwards.
And then NBC Premier League Pass gets its first kind of push here because Tottenham and Burnley played at the same time of Liverpool Arsenal, I believe. But Tottenham's not on TV. It's on the Premier League Pass.
Right.
It'll be the first time that a bigger name team is on that pass. And they're playing at home. Can Spurs finally win against Burnley and get their first home win of the year?
They hope so because they don't want people talking about this all year long.
Oh, if they lose this game, not a good way to roll into the international break at all.
So in MLS, I guess we should give a little update of where kind of things are sitting right now. As far as the playoff hunt goes in the Eastern Conference, you got Toronto FC at 1, NYC FC at 2, Chicago Fire at 3, Columbus Crew at 4, New York Red Bulls at 5, Montreal Impact at 6. Atlanta and Orlando have been pushed out of that spot, or Atlanta United is 1 point away, and Orlando sits 5 points away from that playoff spot.
Yeah, but Atlanta has 2 games in hand. Montreal has a game in hand. New York Red Bulls have a game in hand, which are all above us.
It's going to be real difficult.
We're also sitting on a -11 goal difference. That's not good.
No, that's rough.
At all.
Nope.
It'd be an interesting fight in the East because
Montreal Impact too making that push.
Montreal, even the Union can still come around. They've played the maximum amount of games right now, but
I know
there's still a fight. Everybody's technically still in it. I think
they're really going to need to step up because if the team that showed up against Toronto shows up for the rest of the season, I mean, they were atrocious in that Toronto match.
Yeah, but as soon as you get to the top of the table, it's Toronto and New York FC and Chicago. They've just run away with it.
But did you hear the news out of Montreal though? Piata, what's his name?
Ignacio Piata?
Ignacio. Yeah, Ignacio. Yeah.
Not Nacho. It's not Nacho.
That's what's happening.
It's not Nacho.
It's the East Coast American branch of the Nacho.
It's not Nacho. His name doesn't. It's not
Nacho.
No.
It's the US.
It's Nacho Monreal. His name is said Nacho Monreal. It's
Nacho Piata.
Coletto e Nacho. Nacho. This is Ignacio Piatti.
Nacho.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's the Nacho Ian Nacho and Ignacio Nacho Sack.
Ian Fuego Ignacio Sack.
That's the American franchise. And over in the Western,
that would be the Canadian franchise.
True, it's the Montreal. It's you get poutine on your nachos. That's there. Yeah, the Gouda, smoked Gouda, and gravy on your nachos. That actually sounds good. If you've never had poutine, it's awesome.
Maple syrup just dripped across there.
I am not condoning any of this.
We just lost all our Canadian listeners. Over in the Western Conference, we have Seattle Sounders at 1, Portland Timbers at 2, Sporting KC at 3, Houston Dynamo at 4, FC Dallas 5, Vancouver Whitecaps 6, with San Jose the closest outside at 2 points away from the playoffs. I should note though, like Seattle Sounders at 1 at 41 points, Toronto FC sitting at 1 at 53 points in the East. There's a large.
The West has a lot more parity there.
Yes,
yeah, a lot more.
Because there's a lot of teams over here we just listed in the top 6 in the West that would probably be 2 or 3 easily in the East. Because Toronto is playing great. I won't knock it and say that they'd necessarily be number 1, but that's going to the West is going to be a heartbreaker because just people that are great teams are not going to make it through. But there's a lot of good parity in the West right now. Minnesota United sitting there at a negative 21 at the bottom.
They've been down there all year.
Oh gosh, they've been DC United just rough.
They are trying to just battle it out for who will have the most goals scored against them. I mean, they're at negative 23 and negative 21. That's not good.
It's a rough season.
It's not good. I don't know. And everybody in the West is interesting because everybody is like negative in goal difference by a lot. It's negative 16, negative 11, negative 12, negative 11, negative 21.
Well, the parity disappears at the bottom.
Almighty.
That's what's weird.
Yeah.
In the top 6 of the Western Conference, there's a lot of parity. The teams below that, though, there's
tons of goals scored against them.
Whereas I would say that's a little bit different over in the East.
But even the West, you're looking at Sporting KC has a plus 12 goal difference. Toronto FC on over there in the East has a plus 27. Jeez, that's a lot of freaking goals.
Yeah, it is.
When you have Javinko and Altidore, that's what you get. Holy crap!
They are mad about that final last year. And then what would you like to discuss about the UEFA Champions League draw?
Champions.
Oh, I really expected there to be more.
Just the draw was yesterday, Thursday.
Celtic is super mad at the draw.
Yes. Celtic's not happy.
Which I say Group B. They're in there with Bayern, Paris, Anderlecht, and Celtic in Group B.
So's Tottenham. They can't be too happy with their draw.
No, Tottenham got them.
That's probably the group of death, quote unquote.
Oh yeah, Real Madrid,
and
Dortmund, and Apoel.
Apoel.
They that's kind of the. And normally Arsenal would be in that Group B. They always end up against PSG and Bayern.
Normally, why do you say that there, Blake?
Well, no. Whenever the draw would happen, they'd always get put against them. Oh, because they're not in.
Okay, yeah,
that's okay.
Right. There's 5 English teams in, and Arsenal aren't.
Chelsea wasn't in, and they won the league. So I'm just leaning on that.
After a 1-0 loss away at Stoke, I want to be counting on that one there.
I think Manchester United has a great draw.
Manchester United and Liverpool
ridiculous.
probably got the 2 best draws from the English team. Manchester United in Group A has Benfica, Basel, CSKA Moscow.
Moskva.
From Russia.
From where?
Russia.
It always sounds like you're saying that with an L.
Russia. Russia. And Manchester United are always very fortunate in their group draws. With that being said, the last time they were in the Champions League, they did not get out of a group that included Basel, and they actually lost their last game, or maybe didn't score enough or something. And I think they lost their last game and didn't even get out of the group. So, yes, it's a very easy group, and with the squad that we have, we should get out of this group. Good draw. Chelsea, not a terrible draw, but not an easy draw as well. No. In Group C, they got Atletico Madrid, which is interesting because Costa could be playing for them soon.
Which would be funny.
It'd be after the group stages because Madrid can't sign anybody until January because of their ban. Roma, Karabag?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Karabag.
Yeah, sure. Liverpool have Spartak Moskva, different from CSKA Moscow. Spartak, I believe, is from Ukraine, maybe?
Oh, you're better than me on that. I have no idea.
Ukraine. I think they're the Ukrainian champions. Sevilla, who's a very good team from Spain. It'd probably be Sevilla and Liverpool going through, and then Maribor. Interesting group. And then Group G, interesting as well. Monaco, Porto, Besiktas, and RB Leipzig.
Or Leipzig.
Leipzig. Yeah.
Leipzig.
Yeah. They still have some talent there, even though they sold a lot of people. And Man City got a pretty decent group, but probably the second hardest. Shakhtar Donetsk. It's not an easy place to go at all. They may have been the ones that won Ukraine. I stand corrected. Very tough place to go. Napoli, Feyenoord.
I think Group D is a pretty decent one.
That's going to be a fun.
It's going to be a fun one to watch because they have Juventus, Juve, Barcelona, Olympiacos, and Sporting CP. So I think the top
what
two.
does the CP stand for? Does anybody know?
No, not a clue. I think the top two out of that one are going to be Juve and Barca.
Oh yeah,
but
Olympiacos, yeah,
Olympiacos
could really really put a monkey wrench into all that.
I still think Celtic is happy and very bad. Happy to be in, but that's a rough one.
Club de Portugal is what CP stands for. It's going to be get your Champions League in this year. I don't know if you guys had seen this or not, but Fox airs a ton of games. They air on FS1, FS2, FS4, or Fox Soccer Plus, your local Fox channels. So for us, it's Fox Sports Florida and Sun Sports. They show a lot of games and at the same time. Right. And it's usually if you have a cable package, you can see a majority of those games. Come next year, Turner Sports bought out the rights to the Champions League and the UEFA.
I actually tweeted World Soccer Talk about this after our conversation.
Harris back on
because I said you called it. I said you said it would be less than 5 years that we'd go to so much streaming, and between ESPN right before, which we talked about this announcing their new streaming package, and then Turner Sports now saying that it's kind of like Premier League Pass. You will get some of the matches on like True TV, TNT, but the rest will be streaming on their new, similar to Premier League Pass, whatever they're calling it. So yeah,
we at least get with the Premier League Pass at least 2 games, both Saturday, Sunday, and then usually the Monday and Friday night games.
Here's the thing I don't understand.
There's only going to be like 2 games throughout the group stages, throughout the knockout stages. It's a lot cut.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed that Fox did not hold on to this, or that when TNT took it over, this was their option. This is what they wanted to do with it. And I'm confused, and it would be cool to open this conversation up with Chris from World Soccer Talk again, because it, much like the Premier League Pass goal, I'm like, well, what is the point? Because you have to have a cable subscription to actually get all the games, and by that I mean get the ones that are on TV and then pay for the streaming to get the rest. So why not offer a package through cable that lets you do all that, and then you also can just stream them because you've got that package? Or why the split? Because the split seems inconvenient, unless it is just future-proofing, because they think soon it will be just, if you want the package, you just stream it all, and it will cost more.
I think it's just ill thought out.
But you see what I'm saying? Like
I think it's just what everybody's going to now. They want like a Netflix style, just subscribe. They want you to, because
if you buy it, then make it that way. They didn't.
Agree,
yeah. I mean, I wish early in the days with Disney, NBC, Universal, and a couple other Fox, they all kind of bought and pitched into the Hulu thing, and it was a future proofing.
Right.
They did it, and because if you remember when they announced, it was like, oh wow, they're already streaming TV. And if you look at when that actually started to occur, that was kind of before it all took off with the cord cutting. But that was just future proofing, and so now they've even upgraded to the point you get live TV, like your local channels and stuff, possibly if you want. So that is Netflix. I hate when people say Netflixing, because I think that I disagree with that. That isn't Netflixing, because Netflix doesn't just show Daredevil and Ozark and Orange is the New Black. They show their stuff and everything else. So really, if you're going to say Netflixing, that means something else. A sports streaming package who you pay a monthly subscription and the fees go to ESPN and Fox. Do you know what I mean? Like, because Netflix still is kind of all a one and done. I mean, yes, you can do Amazon Prime and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, there's so much you can do on it. And that's not what these sporting packages are offering. They're offering a very specific $10 extra a month for you to now stream.
And they're only covering one league as well.
Yeah. Right. I just can't tell what it is. It feels like future proofing, because they feel like there's a step coming where the model completely changes and it's all just this streaming. Also, soccer fans have been having to stream and things for a while. I mean, they're obviously not doing it with baseball and everything else. So I also don't know if it's trying to cater to or get the best of both worlds. I don't know. It's just very confusing.
And this is the Champions League.
Again,
this is the premier club tournament in the world.
And you're getting all these bars that are starting to like be soccer bars or sports bars that carry soccer stuff. And again, like we talked about with Chris, you are now making it hard because you've got games that don't get on those extra channels on the cable box, or
80% of the Turner games
stream them at
80% of the Turner games will be through their paid subscription.
So see, that's
service.
completely different than the Premier League Pass. I mean, it's like the reverse of the Premier League.
And only 20%, obviously, the math will be on TV. And this is off of worldsoccertalk.com.
The difference
he put together an awesome FAQ sheet.
While it sucks if you're like a Bournemouth fan, in the Premier League situation, the top games are still on TV. The Turner one is there's not really there aren't many throwaways in the Champions League.
And they'll have to pick and choose which games they show. So say, for instance, you're a Everton fan. We were talking about them earlier, and they get into the top 4, and they qualify for the Champions League. And you just got into the Everton this past year because of Gylfi and Rooney and all these great signings, and they're playing well, and so on and so forth. When it comes down to picking games to show on TV next year, they're not going to go with the Evertons. They're going to go with the Madrids, Barças, Juventus.
Right.
They're going to go with those teams. So this is
now here's
going to have a huge effect on just growing the world game.
This is a chance for MLS to grow, and here's in that, if you are a fan of the world soccer, it is going to get frustrating over the next few years, and you may just be like, you know what, I just watch Premier League now, or I just wait till Champions League start and I just deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'll get what else I can get.
Bundesliga.
But MLS, Bundesliga, I bet you gets an uptick because Fox is holding on to them.
I agree, and I think they'll get an uptick this year from the Premier League. They'll see their numbers go up a bit because a lot of their stuff is
their whip around coverage that we watched over the weekend of the. It's not Goal Rush is what NBC called it, but Fox, it's like 90 minutes.
I just watched the Dortmund game.
Yeah, it was called 90-minute view or whatever, and it was the whip around basically.
Yeah.
Ton of fun to watch. There were some fun games. Also, the two guys that were commentating whatever match were us. They were us because I was like, this is so unprofessional, but I love it.
How's they get on that game?
They were just because I love them though because they were professional. But the one guy, his voice just didn't sound like what I think a traditional commentator, especially for a European sport. And he's like,
that's us.
And he's like, hey, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and it's the 42nd corner of the day. Will there be a goal on it? Let me tell you what, that's going to be a big no. And here we go. Oh, hey, look at that. 42nd corner, no goal for the day. This is getting ridiculous. Oh, look, another corner. Like, I've never heard anybody commentate on, like, that's us. We would do that. It was cracking me up.
We would get off on unbelievably weird.
I would really want.
I have to admit, because Ron, you came over to join me for watching Premier League.
Yeah.
Until you got there, I was watching Bundesliga all morning because that was more fun.
Nice.
So that's like Chris even taught. That's gonna hurt them.
I really want the days of the old. Do you remember Fox Soccer Channel?
Oh yeah, I know where you're going with this.
They had
the fans.
They had the fans call
like the day or two after the match aired. Yeah,
you would replay it.
That is a foot of a god that had scored that goal.
And a fan of each of the teams that were playing would commentate the match, and they were in the same room yelling at each other, shoving each other, drinking a beer, and having a go.
It was Fox Soccer, right?
Yeah, it was Fox Soccer Channel.
It was Fox Soccer and Fox Soccer Plus. They used to do it, and it
was always brilliant.
And they were wearing their own jerseys, and it was great.
It was always brilliant.
And look them up on YouTube. There's some good ones or best ofs that are on there. Is like
no holds bar. They were out there. So and so because hey, whatever. And
God, that's 2 beeps this pod already.
Doing it on purpose.
Really?
He just said he's doing it on purpose.
I said, I'm not doing it on purpose.
I didn't hear the not part.
Oh no, I said I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just like there were people that were doing that. That's Robin van Persie. He needs to go. Blah 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 blah. No, he's a crap striker, and they would just go back and forth.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was so much fun.
But it's I do think it's gonna be interesting to see how things play out with soccer coverage in general, because clearly it's changing, and I just hope it doesn't hurt the sport in that we talked about how Premier League grew because it was easy to watch, and this makes an extra layer of competition or complication. If they do the same thing with Champions League, that's just disappointing here in the States, and I'm not sure what TNT's after. Turner's got a ton of channels. Just put them all on your different channels.
Yep.
I don't get it.
I think they are going to air someone like True TV and some
True
other
TV is,
areas,
and TNT and something else.
yeah, it's just not.
It makes me really appreciate the MLS Live, to be honest. I lose 2 games a week because they're on TV and they're the national match. But other than that, I can watch every single match.
Well, that's going to be kind of this.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. I just mean the difference between all these different leagues doing inverse of each other. Or the MLS
really,
version is
But
super
you
easy.
still have to have a cable
I was gonna say though,
subscription.
Not in the MLS, no.
no. For MLS, if you got the MLS app, you don't.
Well,
have
no,
to.
but if the game's on ESPN, they're not going to show it on the
That's
MLS
what he's saying.
app.
So
Right.
there's always.
But if you want to watch that, you still have to have a cable package, right?
yeah,
Well,
to get
well,
the
no,
national
because
game.
that's part of you could just get it over the good old rabbit ears of the digital age.
Well, not ESPN.
Yeah,
You can't get ESPN on rabbit ears.
I'm pretty sure you
No,
can.
it's not.
You get FS1.
I'm going to
on
test
it?
that theory because
You can get
there-
Fox.
there-
You can get NBC, ABC, and
You
CBS.
can't get FS1 and those type of
You
channels,
can't get
which is where
FS1.
the
You
Sunday
can't
games
get
are.
ESPN on rabbit ears because it's
I'm
Where's Christopher Harris?
Do you know why?
We-
it's
we
the
watched-
most expensive thing that you pay into. It's one of the big drivers in cable subscriptions, and it's one of the reasons Disney's hurting in stock because people are cutting the cord, and it's because people and so cable companies are like, God, we don't want to keep paying for all this ESPN high price when people aren't watching it, but ESPN doesn't go over the rabbit ears because it's
Black
cable,
Hand just kicked that bottle out. of the
cable
way.
only.
I swear I watched a Monday Night Football game over rabbit ears last season because I was in North Carolina and didn't have access to any of that. And I'm pretty sure I was with your dad when we did it. That's the only reason, because your dad doesn't
Was
stream.
it through
and
ears
doesn't-
or was it
Sure,
through like
he-
a different, like a
Dad will stream if you watch it.
Roku
If you went down to my grandparents, you watched it on Dish.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, because they
I could swear that was from rabbit ears.
because that is one of the big that's one of the big drivers for cable subscription cost is that ESPN forces cable companies to you can't make like a package that separates ESPN. It's like whatever their
Right.
contract is, like it has to be in there, and that's part of the things that drives up the price, which is funny.
But not.
No, it's because that's the problem they're facing right now too. Which also is why ESPN is making a streaming service, as they said, like Netflix.
I mean, at some
Next
point, your
year.
cable bill is not going to be a cable bill. It's going to be you're paying $10 here,
Yeah,
$30
an-
here,
an a la
and
carte
it's going to
menu.
equal It's going to equal what a normal cable bill is, but
But it'll be more a la carte.
right. And it just hurts the game growing because the game's finally starting to get some pace here in the United States, and now you're saying, oh, you have to pay 2 different platforms in order to get it. And basically, the Premier League and Champions League, I don't know the numbers for sure. We'll have to check with World Soccer Talk on that, but I believe those are the 2 highest viewed leagues and or tournaments per season than any other league.
Right. That makes sense.
So you're now making these you have to do 2 things if you want to see every single match.
And I think that's the general confusion. It kind of like Premier League Pass. If you're paying for the cable subscription already, it's like your Fox. You get to watch Fox Go, Sports Go, whatever it's called. You just got access to the app. If you got cable, you can sign into it, like you used to do with the NBC. I just don't. I guess NBC has been covering Premier League for so long, though. I mean, I know you're saying money, making the money sign. The NBC has covered Premier League for so long that they have. It sucks, but they've got an audience that they can kind of force to do this because they're already there. If that makes sense. TNT is doing Champions League for the first time. They don't have that built in yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? It seems like an odd thing out the gate when people are like, I don't know what your coverage is going to be like. Like, I don't know what, you know.
Counter
like-
argument is what were we saying when the NBC rolled this out? We kind of wish they would have done this from the start. That's what Turner's going to do.
Well, I said if it had been done from the, no, I didn't say that. My argument was this year, they should say you can watch the games on Premier League Gold for free with your login, but next year it will go.
Right. No, but when we were like, is this wouldn't have been a big thing if NBC first bought the coverage and this is how they rolled it out.
Sure.
NBC or not NBC. Turner's essentially doing this. The problem is that we've already had it through Fox It's not like this is brand new, which
Yeah.
is where the
And if their
argument comes
coverage
into.
isn't great, if their pundits aren't great, like what are you paying for? They better do a great
I
job.
mean,
They better
who-
throw some money behind this and put on a great show.
And Fox doesn't really do anything besides the studio work, and they'll do like the big games on their own. The rest they just pipe in from overseas, and it's usually British English commentary that does the games. I wonder if Turner's just gonna take that national or that not national, the worldwide feed and just pump that in, and then maybe hire some people in for studio. You know,
My prediction: it does not work out great for Turner. I don't think you're going to see a jump in ratings from Fox to this.
oh my gosh, we could see Charles Barkley doing UEFA
Just-
Champions League.
That's amazing. I think you.
Could you imagine?
Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and all of them doing the Champions League coverage.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Now I want to see
wonderful.
that.
TNT.
I got Ronaldo there.
I don't understand. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that?
Shakhtar Donetsk?
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Sounds like a city in Alabama.
So
Anderlecht?
amazing. Well, now
It's a terrible Charles Barkley.
I'm excited about TNT's Charles Barkley coverage of the UEFA Champions League.
Hey, anybody watch that Carabag game?
Carabag.
It's going to be amazing.
Speaking of which, it's such a weird name for a league.
A team.
Yeah.
And I like Maribor. It sounds like a planet in Star Wars.
Okay.
It does.
We
It
went there.
kind of
now.
does. I'm not even really
It's
being
kinda
nerdy.
right.
I'm just saying it does.
That's not. You are being nerdy.
No, I disagree.
I don't.
Well, now that I've thoroughly confused you, I feel like it's time to wrap up the show.
We've rambled on for far too long at this point.
So-
I'm already done with mine.
Follow us on the Untapped, the Twitter, Brewtiful Game, Facebook. Go to the website, thebrutifulgame.com, where all this stuff
Does
is at.
Maribor sound like a Star Wars?
Do you think
Country, what was
Maribor
it?
sounds like
Planet?
a Star Wars planet? We're going to jump to the Maribor system. Punch it, Chewie.
Oh
See,
my
now
God.
that you heard it that way, it does
That-
sound like a
that-
Star Wars name.
That is a lot nerdy.
Keep going.
I'm just,
Untapped.
Just keep going.
Twitter.
Just keep going.
I am saying, man, it does. That's totally what it sounds like. I mean, you prove me wrong. I think people are going to agree with me. Instagram, do we leave one out? I don't know.
I don't think so.
And we don't pay anything to advertise this show. So we super appreciate you sharing the show with your friends and telling folks about us. Any of those you retweet, we drop episodes and share them. We are very, very thankful.
Yes,
and thank you for those iTunes reviews and ratings. They really, really help. So thanks for that. Gentlemen, should we call it a wrap? Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brewtiful Game.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim
Zlatan
chimmery.
Ibrahimovic
Man City
is
has
the
lost all its
Swedish
creativity.
hero.
No, it's create
On-
Caravati.
Creativity.